Hey everyone, you're watching the baddest man on the planet, Trans Aaron 38. And you know what that means? That means that this channel is for adults only. So if you're under the age of 18, go somewhere else.
Yo, what is up, fellas? I'm your host, Trans Aaron 38, coming at you with some more toy review action. And at that time, it is the haslab Ectomobile Deluxe Edition. I got the Deluxe Edition. And this is the haslab Ghostbusters Ecto 1 and Ecto 1A box set from Hasbro. And super excited about this because, you know, I am a big Ghostbusters fan. Definitely love it how this looks like a tool chest stacked on top of another tool chest. Don't mind my background here. This is my photography and stuff for on Instagram and stuff. But I will be doing a live on Instagram opening this as well. So there'll be cuts in between of me opening this up. So super excited about this. This is wires, sockets, psychomatheric ectoplasm, wrenches, spark plugs, proton pack parts, and more wires. Got the ribbon cable right there, which is pretty cool. So yeah, super excited. So anyway, let's go ahead and roll the intro, guys and gals. And I'm your host, Trans Aaron 38, and I'm back at with another awesome review. I know it's been a while. I'm gonna try to get some more out sooner or later here, but hey, this is the haslab. This is my priority right here. So let's go ahead and get ready to crack this open. And who you gonna call? Yeah. Alrighty, here is the haslab. Love the artwork and stuff on it. Let's slide these out. So anyway, it's really cool. Don't forget, birthday party at 2 p.m. and bring Winston. So that must be like a note for whenever it was Ghostbusters 2. Where's the cookbooks? haslab Plasma Series Anniversary Ectomobile Deluxe Pack. So Statue of Liberty. You got the Ghostbusters 2 logo right there. So really cool. On here, it's just like a tool chest, which is pretty cool. We'll set that off to the side. Anyway, you get the Ghostbusters Ectomobile here. I'm doing this with one hand here, so just bear with me. You invest in a tripod, huh, guys? When I do this kind of stuff. Anyway, it's taped to the bottom here in order it can slide off. Now I can slide off. Yeah, here we go. So anyway, here's a slip cover. Back right here, this is all what we're getting with the haslab here. Just super awesome. Super awesome indeed. So there's a slip cover. And then here is the other thing. There's a transmission, wiring, steering box, braking pads, linings, notice of violation. Picture right there with the library ghost. Ectomobile Anniversary Edition. So yeah, so if you just get the Ectomobile, you just get the Ectomobile here. I think this is one part of the haslab, and if you just didn't get the deluxe or whatever, you don't get that red box. I guess, I don't know. But anyway, we'll go ahead and remove the contents out of the first one, which is the red box, and we'll be right back. And two hands available. All right, the Ecto 1 is unboxed. We'll continue doing some more video slides, but here's how big she is compared to the Ostriker from Classified. It's fucking nuts. But yeah, the buttons underneath here, underneath the bumper here. For the lights, you hit it a couple times. There's the lights, and then the one on the right, button on the right is the Ecto siren. But anyway, there's Ecto 1. Push the button again. Alright, fellas, there's like, while you're in the middle of doing this, the instructions really don't tell you where to put some of the stuff's not really clear with the instructions. But big shout out to my good buddy Lone Dragon here. I was like, I'm looking all over the place. I was like, this is the top tray that goes for the Ecto vehicle itself insert. I'm looking all over through the other boxes and stuff, looking for the antennas. Because I'm looking for the radio antennas for here. I'm like, where are they at? I was like, couldn't find them. And it's like, buddy Lone Dragon says that your plastic tray on top here, right here. I did not even notice those right there. So that's one big hint there for whenever you guys are trying to get your Ecto 1 set up to the classic version of the Ecto. So, and these are metal too, so you can bend them the way you want. So this one here will be on the back end of the Ecto 1. We'll go ahead. Move some of this stuff here so you can actually see this. This here is supposed to go to the back, peg in here. And you're supposed to, it has a nice little bend to it. I want to see if I can try to get like some kind of, like a mini zip tie or something. Like a very small zip tie. And then zip tie that sucker right there to that roof rack. Because, now it's like, yeah, you're like, oh, well, you're going to have to take it off. Yeah. But, it's like, I planned on getting 2 of these Ectos anyway. I have one here, so, here in its flesh. But anyway, I plan on getting 2. So, have 2 two vehicles instead of just tearing them apart and then putting it to 1A configuration. But after this video, this Ecto will probably be in its own Ecto 1A configuration after. But anyway, big shout out to Lone Dragon for that. I'm just going to move this one here because that one was a stationary one. And without hitting the button. And it's all done. Everything's pretty much done on this. There's like, we got Slimer. I got Slimer out. There's like, look at that ass. But Slimer's definitely a scale right there. It's classified. But anyway, not much less to do. It's like there's Ecto 1, and then all this other stuff. You get all this other stuff. I was like just opening this stuff up and stuff. Here's Lois Tully and Library Ghost. There's the regular Plasma Series Egon, and here's Lois. So that's why we're getting a 4-pack of these guys to match with Lois here later on. So this is the correct color of the flight suit for in movie. Yeah, these flight suits were pretty cool, but all in all, it's really cool to have it in that color. Some people was calling it the Library Nurse. No, it's Library Ghost, damn it. And I already took out the Ghost Sniffer and then radomed this year. This here is the clear piece here for the Library Ghost. And there's a stack of books here. And then you get the gurney here. Just pop the gurney out here. So, very cool in scale as well. Put that off the side. You do get your neutrino wands here for your other 4 Ghostbusters and your plasma streams. You get those. Here's where Slimer was. This is a phone that you put inside the Ecto. Haven't got a chance to do that yet. There's a neutrino wand for Lois Tully. There's Tobin Spirit Guide opened up. Another blast effect right there. I think this piece here is for whenever you want to separate the wheel axles on the bottom to unpeg to convert from Ecto 1A look to Ecto 1 to Ecto 1A. Here is the slime thrower attachments. You got the rubber tubes here to blast the slime, translucent slime. Got the pink slime coming out of the toaster. And these little white caps are supposed to be for caps along for the car itself. And you got the slime thrower itself. Like that. The other part is this roof rack. You get the other roof rack. Here's 1A's roof rack here in this plastic. And last but not least, you get all 4 Ghostbusters in their navy blue suits with the slime blowers. Slime blowers in there as well. They have the proton packs on, which is, you know, I have to just add your neutrino ones to them. So yeah. We'll go ahead and get all this stuff opened up, and we'll be back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I got everybody out of all their blisters and everything ready to rock and roll and ready to catch some ghosts. Super excited here. Here is the Ecto one out with all the figures and all the goodies that comes with it. I was like, man, I just had to go get some Ecto Cooler to drink. I was like, say what? Ecto Cooler? Yeah, I got some homemade Ecto Cooler here. Gonna pour myself a glass, and I got my homemade Ecto Cooler jug here. I see Ecto Cooler. I was like, pour me a glass. If you guys want to know what the ratio is, it's just 4 cups of Tampico orange citrus with citrus punch, and 1 cup of Minute Maid lemonade and green food coloring. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. But just looks like Ecto Cooler, and it tastes just good. It's pretty good too. But anyway, moving right along, you can see the lights have a timer on it as well for the lights. Now the lights are triggered underneath the front bumper here of the Ecto one on the left. There's a button on the left. So you get the flashing lights on the bottom here. Hit it again, you get the rear lights come on. We'll get to that here in a little bit, but it cycles through for dome lights, inside lights, and yeah, it's freaking phenomenal. But all in all, everybody's out of their boosters, especially whenever it's like, even it's like, what? Half price service plan? That's right, it's like free balloons and a hot beverage mug. Freaking hilarious. Freaking love that they included this in the set. Now the Ghostbusters, them in their navy blue suits here, they look great and fantastic. Obviously that's gonna fall right out. It's gonna be one item that will get put in my little tackle box of parts, so it's not getting lost. But really cool. You got the Ghostbusters 2 logo on their sleeves. The proton packs are your typical proton packs that you get with the other Plasma Series figures. Now, the figure quality-wise is a little bit different. They're not stiff joints. Don't get me wrong, they're not stiff joints. But I don't know if you can tell, I'm just barely moving his leg. They're really gummy. These figures are like really gummy figures. I'm not complaining because there's like I'd rather have some give for them a little bit. So what's up with that, Hasbro? I'm not sure about that. Like I said, their arms are even really gummy too. Whenever you want to, just like if you look at just gumminess of the arms. That's all the figures here. But all in all, they are phenomenal, and they're actually phenomenal figures. Look really good. So you had Egon there. You got Venkman here. There's Venkman in all of his glory. Same thing. You get the Ghostbusters 2 logo right there on the side. And then you get, I put these guys, put them on. They're similar to the proton packs, but you got 2 pegs on each side for the slime blower to put on and off. And there's different configurations where you can put your slime blower. I have one still on this side, you go around this side, and now on Ray here, I'll put the tubes all on one side. So there's a difference on a personal preference if you want for the slime blowers. I do believe the way they are is the way Winston is from in the movie. I gotta rewatch the movie again, but all in all, very cool indeed. They did a great job. The head sculpts look really good, the younger versions of themselves. Winston's look pretty good. Ray's looks good. There's a lot of it, little controversial with Venkman though. Venkman looks like Venkman, but he's just like a mellowed out Venkman. But the next one is Lois Tully. You get Lois Tully finally as a Ghostbuster in the new tan suit phase. Now remember, we got the other Plasma Series figures that we got previous to start the whole thing shebang. Here's Egon here. see the difference in the color wise. I'm actually glad they're going to this, but they should have had this color to begin with the Plasma series. And I'm glad they're still doing the double jointed elbows and knees for these, because I was really I really do not like the articulation what Star Wars does with their figures. Some Star Wars figures are good. Some Star Wars figures, it's just their articulation just sucks. I'm glad that Hasbro did the articulation with the bendable arms and knees, just like they do on the Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe Classified. And for comparison, it's like that blue really matches pretty good with the almost the cop. The cop, he's like he's a bigger build. He's a bigger build. Than the Ghostbusters. He's taller, a bit taller. I was like, it's supposed to be 6-inch scale, right? But yeah, police officers definitely scale in there with them. So yeah, and the Lewis Tully here, his face sculpt looks really good. Definitely that look that he just gives you. just that look. Obviously, he's wearing Egon's suit, but he comes with a PK meter and a ghost trap. Excuse me, guys. This is my Ecto-Cooler. Anyway, also you do get the gurney. You do get the gurney here, which you can put the proton packs inside here on there. They do wiggle wobbly a little bit, so if you get them in the stance, there you go. But the gurney right there is for the proton packs, so we'll display that here whenever we get to look at more of the vehicle. You do get the slime toaster here. You get the slime toaster here, which is pretty cool. It's a nice little memento. You know, obviously you gotta know Slimer. Looks like Slimer looks really good. Really good with the articulation with his arms. You get that rotation right there. Even for the hands going back and forth. So really good. Would have been nice if they had a nice little movable jaw for him. But look at that ass. Look at that Slimer ass. But there's Slimer. I had him sitting on the hood. You get a little clear stand. Just peg it into the bottom of him. And you get him floating. Now the next one is... It's the Library Ghost. And I do believe that she does come displayed with the Tobin Spirit, an open version of the Tobin Spirit Guide, which is pretty cool. And then you just place it in her hand. And there you go. She just had the same articulation as Slimer, a little bit, just a rotation here with the hands, and that's it. You do have swivel articulation a little bit with the fingers, and then you get the head rotation, which is pretty good. But anyway, you get her up there. So anyway, there is the Library Ghost and all of her glory. So there's all these figures. Definitely want to sit these guys off to the side. We're just going to focus on the Ecto now. We're going to set Slimer off to the side. We'll take Lewis, and we'll take everyone else. But like I said, the slime blowers, I forgot to show the detail of the slime blowers. They came out really good with the slime blowers. Really cool. You do get those blast effects, I almost forgot, for your slime blowers, which is pretty cool. And they're not the same size as G.I. Joe Classified. It's a different hole port. And then you do get these other blue blast effects for your proton streams for the other guys. So, and Lewis. So, all that wonderful goodness. So we'll just set Egon and then everybody else off to the side. There's the toaster. Now you do have all these other parts available here, which we'll get to this here in a minute. This is the whole roof rack assembly for the Ecto 1A configuration. We'll set that off to the side for right now. But the biggest part is taking a look at the Ectomobile herself. Definitely, she's a beaut. She's a beaut indeed. I'm not no professional YouTuber, but I do love me some Ecto 1 car goodness. So we're just going to get the lights on here. or take them off here for a second. There is a button underneath here. There's a button here and a button here. This one here activates the light. This one does the siren. So, anyway, I did not put all the decals on this already, but I wanted to show how these actually are going to work on the Ecto. Because there's like the "We Believe You" in them. There's like we got Ecto 1 plate here. We'll put that on the front. They're supposed to be those restickable stickers. I got it on there a little crooked, but hey, it's okay. I'll probably take it off later because I'm definitely going to be putting it in the Ecto 1A roof rack style. So, anywho. Anyway, here is Ecto 1 in all of her glory. Really cool. Nice roof rack going on here. We'll go ahead and get a closer look up here of the roof rack. And we got Clutch. I think it was Clutch or one of the G.I. Joe Classified guys over there sitting over there from a photo I did a while back. But super dope. The doors do open. So you do got some detail inside as well. I don't get too much worried about for the detail inside, but doors do open and close. You just gotta wiggle that one in a little bit. There it goes. Close that in. You do get this door open as well because they never had the door open on the other side of the Ecto until Afterlife. This here used to be would become the gunner seat, but now this phone is supposed to be able to get pegged in, and I do believe it was supposed to get pegged in like right here for Egon to talk to and stuff. But I'm not too worried about putting anything in there. Now for size comparison wise, we'll go ahead and bring in one of my Ghostbuster figures here. We're going to take Egon's proton pack off, his PK meter. From the regular plasma series here, because these guys here are the same size. So take his proton pack off. Now we'll just go ahead and set his butt inside, get him in a seating position. Get him in a seating position here. And then we'll see how. Let me try to get his knees. Supposed to be able to set them in there nicely, but you know it's going to be very finicky. But definitely set them in there if we can here. I'm not going to fiddle around with this, but yeah, you can put them in there. There's the scale for you for what you want to do. Egon's messing around with stuff back in there. You can have them in there like so. It's up to you. I probably wouldn't even have anybody even in the back of driving this thing. So Ghostbusters logo in the back. Obviously it's Ecto 1. Reusable stickers here. Try to stick this sucker in. There we go. The Ecto 1. The door does open in the back for the gurney. It's pretty cool. You do have that seat back here that folds up too, which is pretty cool. But the gurney itself, definitely have that. You got that wheels right here where they stop right here on the back. And you push, and then you just put these in there. The proton packs would not have to have their wands on whenever you're putting this rack in. So if you guys don't want, just take your wands off. of this is so they're not hindered to the roof. I really understand what I feel like they could have put down a little bit more detail of back further for the proton packs. See, now they're not hindering the packs, and then the leg here automatically transform and bring it back in, and then you get the gurney goes all the way in, and it'll clip into place. So you get the proton packs in there as well. So there you go. I'm going to shut that up. Like so. Really nice detail to the tail lights here going on. This is actually a metal piece of wire going on with this. Roof rack looks phenomenal. Like I said, you got the ghost sniffer here. You got the radome dish right back here. It's pretty cool. So, really neat little roof rack, which is pretty cool. So anyway, lights. We're talking about the lights on this thing. You got the light, one bar here, push. Get the blinking lights in the front, and then you got the tail lights in the back here. And then you got the inside of the dome lights come in, and then the inside lights for inside the Ecto. Hit it again, then you get the main strobes on the whole roof rack. And then the button off to the right is your Ecto siren. And then you can actually hit it again and it winds down, which is super freaking awesome. But anyway, there is Ecto 1A in all of her glory. Maybe we can try to get Egon in here and do it. Okay, you have a little bit more leg room in there for the Ecto. So there he is inside the Ecto. Super dope. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get him out and we'll transfer this over to Ecto 1A. Be right back.